as family members of late Bar Robert Kharshiing, we would like to inform the public, the people who have been his uh, supporters, who have benefited from his work. We'd like to not just place before the general public a few facts of the life of Bar Robert. Uh, he was born on 7 January 1959, and as we know, he expired yesterday, 7th April 2022. He was 63 years old. He was a former MLA during 1990 to 1993 of Laimukra constituency. He contested a by-election. He was also then Rajya Sabha MP from 2002 to 2008. He was also a former teacher of St. Anthony's High School. Subsequently, he also became the third president of the Khasi Students' Union, taking over from Bar Michael Singh during 81 to 1983. And he was known for having led the KSU in a, his philosophy was more of a peaceful approach with dialogue. He was not in favor of any violent movement, and so during his tenure he tried to see that there was more of a peaceful movement, and tried to explore the path of dialogue. He was then elected the Rangbashnong and had to relinquish his post as the president of KSU, being elected then as the Rangbashnong of Laimukra from 1983 to 1985. And he was also instrumental in the formation of the youth organization, what we call the Seng Samla of Laimukra, and the Seng Longkobe, the women organization of Laimukra. And I think probably he was probably the youngest village headman of his time, given that the previous Rangbashnongs were mostly, what we call them Timban Shnong, very, very elderly people. At the age, I think, a very young age, he became the Rangbashnong. He worked together with the Seng Samla and Seng Longkome, the youth and the women, and it was also for the first time in Laimukra during his tenure that the women participated in the Dorbashnong, which is today being debated in certain circles. He was probably one of the first MLAs during the 1990 election to have announced his total assets. That was prior to all this, election commission norms, which are now today, where all candidates have to declare their assets. But he did it much before, all the way back in 1990, and declared his assets. He was also one of the first headmen, Rangbashnong, who was arrested under the stringent law MPDA, for having implemented the decision of the Dorbashnong, which is similar to your village Dorbar, for shutting down ill repute bar. And then he was also helping and advising the former Chief Minister S.C. Marak, and was instrumental in the formation of the Meghalaya Economic Development Council, which proposed a number of recommendations. We gave a number of recommendations on how to uplift the economic scenario of the state of Meghalaya. Uh, he was also instrumental in the formation of the notification of the Meghalaya Community Relations Council, a body which was initiated at that time together with late Stanley Nichols Roy, former MLA. They both came up with this idea, given his past, you know, work as a work in London, and they developed this idea of how to have a similar community relations council to address the constant tribal non-tribal conflict.